This is Immortals Fenyx Rising. We're on Xbox Series X. The game is indeed optimized. We get two visual options here. And I wanted to kind of redo this because, the first one had some technical issues that were Xbox DVR related recording wise. The game does actually run, quite well in the performance mode. So the game's got two options when it comes to the visuals with HDR support as well. So you got performance, which is where it's prioritizing 60 FPS, and quality, where it's more better image quality and resolution. And it should be mentioned that that mode does have some issues at the current point, but that's because the day one patch isn't available until the day after recording this. So we're not going to focus on that right now. We will show some of it in the full review when I'm allowed to kind of present that. So anyways, we're going to do a quick sort of jump into the game, kind of show it off a little bit from where we're at. The game is fairly large and very expansive in terms of what you're doing. We're trying to uncover the last primary area that I have to go and do at this current point. So there is a ton of content. This is several plus hours into the game at the current point. There is a lot that you do in this game, and you spend a lot of time playing, so it does take quite a while to roll through. So this is very much the latest sort of RPG type experience from Ubisoft, more focused on action. I guess you could say it's quite interesting because it's basically Breath of the Wild if Breath of the Wild had really good visuals and more fun type traversal. I say that in the sense that I'm not knocking Breath of the Wild, I'm just saying it's a lot easier to move and flow through the map in comparison to that one, but it does feel very much like that game. It also definitely feels a lot like Assassin's Creed Valhalla in terms of the movement, the battle, and the combat and everything, but it's more puzzle-based in nature. Again, we're not really reviewing it at this point, we're just kind of giving you some ideas and an early look at it. It is gorgeous, visually, the skies, the environments you go to. It's a lovely looking game. I also really like the character. She's got a neat sort of quirky, cute element to her, but there's also customization, so you're not just locked to this character. But I sort of went with the cover design to a degree from the game because I actually like the look there, but did some extra customization. So you're not locked to just playing the female character if you want. Anyways, moving past that, the game is about puzzles, basically. It's very, very much a puzzle-based game with a lot of busy work, a lot of doing side things in order to progress to the main sort of narrative elements, and there's a fun story that's being told, which you'll hear about in a sec here, from our good pals Zeus and Prometheus. That's sort of how this narrative is being presented. And yeah, it's just got a lot of content. I've been really rolling, or trying to roll through this the best I can, while also balancing other projects. But yeah, it's been quite a situation. So there's a lot of depth in terms. Oh yeah, they're talking here. There's a lot of depth in terms of what you're doing in the game. The stamina system, the health system. You actually have to go out and improve your skills by collecting things. I didn't find the combat to be necessarily something that is 100% focused on. And since I did the last one, someone did mention that you do get shards and stuff. Yes, that's true. You do get somewhat rewarded for going out and doing the combat. But I really also felt that it was easier just to kind of not deal with that, and I didn't really feel a huge hindrance because most of the time you're doing puzzles. That was until you get to boss situations where you that actually kind of almost randomly sort of pop up. It's strange. Anyways, the world is filled with things and battles you could do, and there's this cool part where there's a chicken boss you're fighting, and the banter between these two guys is kind of awesome. But I hope you're getting the understanding of the comparison that I'm making between this and sort of Breath of the Wild in terms of the climbing, the movement, the sense of the open world, because it's a big landmass. You can really kind of go anywhere out there. It's a huge map, and you can well, not teleport, well, yeah, I mean it's fast traveling, but you can basically get from one area of the world to the other using the fast travel, and it does not take very long. We actually, we have to get to the top of the hammer. Sorry, this is one of the moments where you're sort of uncovering an area. You're getting to the top of the high point, and then you're able to see the whole area be revealed to you, and you kind of go from there. Is there a nice secret up here. Usually they throw you like a crystal as a bow. No, not at all. Okay, I guess we're just scouting it out. And that's kind of neat. So I'm trying not to like spoil anything story-wise. I don't really think this is. This is kind of just like a layout of the land. And of course the final kind of section I have to check out here. The Forge Lands. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Let's get going. So it's just kind of a very interesting sort of game. It's an expansive one. And this area is just full of little things that you can do and like side missions. And a big part of the game is going to like these vaults. And these vaults are like challenge rooms. Very similar again to Breath of the Wild, where you're going and figuring stuff out and then you're getting rewards from doing so. They're interesting. Some of them are a little bit tiring. I don't really like the block-based elements in regards to how you control them. It kind of drives me crazy sometimes, some of the movement. Some of it's really great, but sometimes it just like I get driven absolutely crazy by them because they just like do not go where I want them to. So you've also got this really cool vision that allows you to, and it's based on vibrations of the controller, where you're actually kind of looking around and you can feel, you know, where certain things are, and you're able to highlight them so that you can go to them and visit the areas along the way. So we're looking mainly for the ambrosia crystals because we're trying to get the health up. See, it's kind of like, I gotta get stamina too, but I have to do like these more challenge type things to do that. And yeah, there's just a lot of, I guess you could say, busy work. A lot of things you gotta do. That one's gleaming and calling me, but yeah, look at all the different like things in this world. Like there's all this stuff you can do. So much, so many things you can kind of work towards. And if you like that sort of thing, you're gonna get an absolute ton of that. Ooh. Did not mean to fall down. But let's teleport to the main area of the game. Well, basically your base of operations, which is the Hall of the Gods. That kind of shows off the traveling system, the fast travel. So you can see how fast it loads. Because again, it's optimized. And, you know, it takes a little bit longer depending on how far away you are, but, like, within the same area. Like, even that was not bad at all. And I can't wait to see the games we're going to have over the generation in regards to the scope of them. Because this is sort of, like, absolutely nuts in terms of detail. Like, I want to do the comparison here. So where were we? We weren't there. So we were over there, I believe. We were all the way over at that hammer. So that's the hammer where we were at. And you can see that from all the way back over here. That's kind of crazy. And we'll fast travel a little bit to another area that I absolutely love because it looks amazing all the way over there. Because that's kind of crazy. But you could just kind of travel everywhere here. Use your mount, use yourself, you know, it's kind of wild. So this is your base of operations. This is where you're able to, you know, upgrade things once you get enough of like the minerals. Then you get like a fun sort of animation with the quirky style and everything like that. And yeah, it's kind of neat. It's a little bit of an entertaining thing. So the game just has lots of puzzles, lots of content, lots of things you can do, many different areas you can visit. And it's just an expansive world that seems to have almost endless bits of content. Like, I mean, you could really, really pack in the time here if you know, kind of wanted to. I find the coins are hard to get too. I haven't come across too many of them. And then the weapons and stuff, just like, you gotta constantly be looking for things in order to upgrade your stuff. Like, my stuff's not even really that that upgraded, to be honest, because I keep having troubles finding all the minerals. And then your potions are a big part of your kind of character stuff, so you actually have to find, you know, crap in the environment in order to do that, and then more stuff, and that levels that up. You know, there's all these different things that you kind of work towards. And Sir Pal Hermes there. But you know, it's just a game that has like a lot going on in it. So many different areas to visit, so many different challenges to take part in. It's kind of nuts, I guess you could say, just in terms of what you're sort of working towards. And then we got the combat style here, which I do want to show. So why is that? Oh, this was another, I think I kind of showed this off in the last video, so I don't know if I want to do it again, but we'll just do a little bit of a hint of the combat in action so you see it. So you kind of got your like swinging hammer, then you got your quick melee system, and then you can do things such as like interacting with the environment. So like, if there were rocks, I could, you know, pick up a rock and like throw it at somebody and stuff. Yeah, it's very, very interesting, and again, quite expansive in terms of what you're doing and the style of play that's present here. You know, it's neat combat, but again, it can feel a little grindy, especially if you're not, like, upgraded with your weapons. And to upgrade your weapons, you have to spend all this time doing other things, and it just kind of, you know, from my perspective, I find it a little bit exhausting, because, you know, oh yeah, this is the carry system, so you can, like, do this, and then I can, like, throw it at stuff, and it does damage. It's kind of helpful. But we didn't figure this out, but then again, I was kind of recording at, like, a very, very late hour to get the, the previous video together. You know, just because working hard on getting everything done, which is tiring, and a lot of work, and usually a thankless task. Okay, so what exactly do you want, mythical game, for me to do? Usually these things are so simple and they just kind of flow together, but other times you're like, what exactly is going on here? So there's a fire thingy. I don't know if there's like a fire I have to unlock to open a fire. That might be a thing. Honestly, not even sure where to start on this one. Because this area opens that area and then opens that area. Maybe there's a part where you have to break it. Anyways, I want to do more exploration-based things. I don't necessarily want to sit here and... Well, I mean, maybe we could do one of... Oh. I broke it. But usually you can, like, kind of use stuff in the environment. But I think you need actual blocks that it wants you to get and stored instead of, like, specifically this kind of thing. I don't think this is what it really has in mind. Where did it go? No. Could you get up here, please? Oh, that actually works. Let's see if we can climb out of here. There we go. Okay, drop off the thing there, lady. Huh, that actually worked. Although I don't think it was supposed to. Okay, let's see what that kind of opened up. Did it open up that thing? Okay, oh, it actually opened up the end thing. I don't specifically think that you're supposed to do it this way. So that's kind of interesting. Let's see if we can actually cheat the puzzle to a degree. I don't want to break this, though, because that would mean I wouldn't be able to do the task here. But I don't know specifically how I'm going to be able to get that kind of rolling here. We can, like, wedge that in. Now, I always find it funny doing this kind of thing where it's, like, clearly wasn't necessarily intended by the developers, but it kind of lets you do that sort of thing, which I think is kind of fun and shows off a little bit of creativity. Yeah, so that's definitely, I don't think how you were supposed to do this one, but it sort of worked out. That's fun. I like when that happens when you're playing games. Ooh, I got a new helm. That's exciting, but I think it's just like a visual thing. I don't know if that really... Yeah, it's just a red boar head. Doesn't really help me at all. Ooh. +3. +1 to health chunks. Health chunk on hit. Get a slightly cooler gear thing, and then you can kind of customize it a little bit, which is nice. So you get these little adjustments you can make and stuff. Is that available now? Can we customize this? See, I'm supposed to have like some kind of weird microtransaction type thing with it. And oh, there we go. Yeah, my Starlight thing, because I bought one of the... Well, I didn't buy it, but I had like in-game credit things for it. So I was like, oh, sure, we'll get this weird looking Starlight thing. But anyways, let's... Alright, so we're just going to fast travel over to the Palace of Aphrodite, because I like showing it off. It's a pretty cool area. And again, it'll give you an idea of just the loading that's present here, which I do find kind of amazingly fast. Usually it would take a while to get to that location. So we were over there, just underneath like the palace area, and now we're over here. And earlier we were all the way over there at that hammer thing. It's just kind of amazing the distance you kind of scale really fast. I don't know. I kind of find it fascinating. But I just love this area because it's so interesting, like the architecture and the god statues and stuff. I don't know, I just find it really quite lovely to take in, and there's all these different islands. But anyways, it's a really gorgeous game is what I want to get across. It really is kind of amazing. The sense of scale and the design of it, I really do find it interesting and, you know, just well done. We'll see if we can take on the legendary rooster, but it might be a little bit hardcore. You know how these roosters are, right? They're devilishly powerful, but this is really what we got to show at this current point. I just kind of hope I've been presenting it decently well at this point, so you can get an idea, you know, of how it's running and everything like that, and how it looks and the style of the game, before diving into a full review of the situation. Yes, the slow motion sort of countering mechanism. I guess I should finish off those characters before pounding away more at this thing. Yeah, we're doing pretty well at the rooster. I guess our little upgrades have come in handy for fighting this legendary. I'm fighting a legendary rooster. I find that just absolutely hilarious, at least to me. It's kind of a funny situation. Where you run into, rooster? It's not the hardest like boss. Like there's some insanely harder ones you have to deal with, but yeah, I just find the axe to be quite effective in battling things. And it's quieter when I hit the button. There we go. The rooster has been defeated. The legendary rooster. I wonder if that's actually like a mythology thing. I assume it is, but I don't know, I just find it funny. Phosphor the Gazer. Ooh, that's exciting. Investigate the noises. Nah, I think this thing is supposed to open for me. Because I did the thing to get the thing, unless I gotta put something somewhere. I mean, I defeated the rooster, am I right? Anyways, it's just... It's a lovely sort of game, and the scale, the look of it, and everything. It's kind of... You know, it's got a nice little magical sense to it, which is what I really want to get across. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this look at it. And the review will be, you know, in the future.